Hubba hubba.
Following on, we mentioned Zack Snyder. Following on to the next question, or moving on to the next question is the right way to say it. Is Sucker Punch? Would you watch a director's cut of this film? And if so, why?
Yeah. I actually really liked Sucker Punch. So from what I understand, I think Sash may have told me this, was that basically someone else had written the script for the first Sucker Punch, for the Sucker Punch film. I don't know.
New information to me, but go on.
Yeah, I think someone else had written the script. The whole thing was like basically done prior to filming, and then they just needed a director to come in and make it. And it was like the film was the actual story it's actually pretty incoherent and it's pile of dog shit. But you watch it aesthetically, you're like, oh, this is good.
Yeah, I always hear that. It looks really good.
Yeah. Aesthetically, that film's great. And like the trailer for it, man. Like,
I remember the trailer.
The first trailer for it, I was super excited for this movie because I'm like, I don't know what to expect, but this film looks good. And yeah, I mean, aesthetically now, like I'll still watch that film now. I own it on iTunes, and I watch it. I think it's great. The story's so dumb, it almost doesn't make sense. But it's the first time I ever saw Oscar Isaacs in a movie. Was in this film. I'm sure he's obviously acted longer than that, but that's the first time I saw him. And then it had like some pretty good directors in there. Pretty good actresses in there. Yeah. So I was in. It was a good film. Like it's again, this is another one of those films. Like as long as you don't really care about the storyline, you really want a good action movie. Like totally watch this movie. Like so if they did a director's cut, like. Yeah, okay, I'll watch it. I like the original, so.
Where did the news of is Zack Snyder doing a director's cut, or is it just a rumor, or Satch?
I don't know about that. Yes, it's gonna be Satch. Satch does to answer that.
Well, hang on, what's that?
Is Zack Snyder actually doing a director's cut of this movie?
No. He's just basically saying that a director's cut is possible and does exist, but he doesn't think there's that much interest out there for it. You know what? I would watch it if it was available. I'd watch it like any other movie. Am I begging for it? Not really, but that's just my 2 cents.
All I would say is that I had to look it up to see if I actually seen this movie. I actually have seen this movie, so I've sort of forgotten. So, nah, I probably won't.
I mean, what year was it? Like 08?
I don't know. I can't remember.
Yeah, it was like 08, 09.
There you go. It's been 13 years.
Yeah, I think it might be. It was after 300. I know that. It might be 2010.
I do remember I watched it sometime around 11 or maybe 12.
Yeah, because the first Zack Snyder film I ever saw was Dawn of the Dead.
I think that was his first film.
Oh, was it? Okay, yeah. So I watched that in the cinemas, and I remember that was the first time when I was walking home when I used to live in Wembley, and I was walking home late at night, and I was just thinking like, what would I do? Like that's the first time the idea of a zombie apocalypse had ever crossed my mind, and I was like, what would I do in that scenario? Where would I go? Like, would I survive? Absolutely not. I get eaten alive immediately. I have zero fun.
Yeah, I'm with you, man.
So yeah, again, I've not seen Sucker Punch, and for me, Zack Snyder doesn't. I think you're
a bit of a snob sometimes in your films. You know that, Joe.
Yes,
like,
I am.
I won't watch Sonic. Sonic the what? The Hedgehog. Fuck off.
Is that you doing me? Is it?
Yeah, just less N-bombs, yeah? Because I do like how you go from Joe to, oh, hello, this is Joe on Zedos Gang Podcast.
Yeah, I know. It's as with this tag, you have to kind of do the mental gymnastics with.
Speaking of, I watched that movie. What was it called? Sorry to bother you.
Oh, bloody hell! Okay.
I love that movie.
That's so weird.
do you know what? I know why that actor's in Atlanta now. Because that film is exactly like Atlanta. Have you seen the TV show Atlanta?
I know what it is. That's that's a Childish Gambino show, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Great show. Great show.
Really interesting show.
I'll get round to it along with Happy. I'll put it on the list that Sash keeps telling me to watch.
I think you'll like Atlanta. It's
Okay.
Everyone should watch Atlanta and Happy. I can't wait for the next season of Atlanta though.
what was I talking? Literally, what was I talking about just now? Oh right, yeah, Sucker Punch. There's look the particular films that I watch because I'm older now. I'm a lot more cynical, and I've seen for my era. I've seen what's good. What I see now, I'm trying to measure myself in two lights. What I'm like as the older person, what I was like as a kid, and the older person of me there's certain things that I've seen before that hasn't been done as well. It doesn't measure up for me, and so I will dismiss films like I've got no time to waste for watching this or this or this. I'm more inclined to wait for something heavier now. But if I get enough push from someone to watch a particular thing, I'll go watch it. So
yeah, I mean, like Paper Tigers, for example. There's no, if any, barely any CGI in that.
Oh
It's
wow,
not like a CGI movie or anything. It's like it's a small indie movie, but you'll like it.
okay.
But yeah, I get you, man. Like, I find myself just wanting to watch older films because they just don't make films like they used to anymore.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not saying there aren't good films anymore. I'm just saying there's less of them. There used to be when let's say Hollywood was when they didn't when you had your James McTeague. Is it James McTeague? James McTinnaman.
McTiernan.
Yeah. In that era, they just, how much is it going to cost? Okay, do your thing. And now it's like, how much is it going to cost? What color are the cast? What color are the staff? What color are there any Chinese people? Will it sell to China? Is it saying anything derogative about anyone or anything? You can't express just the film. You can't express the script anymore.
You can't express honestly.
And that's
Dude. I watched. Sorry to interrupt.
Okay.
On Saturday, I sat down and watched Scary Movie 1, Scary Movie 2, and Not Another Teen Movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I forgot how hilarious those movies are.
Yeah.
Like, they're so good. They're just so good. As spoof movies go, like the Keenan Ivory Waynes, and obviously he didn't do Not Another Teen Movie, but those three movies for me, like, they're great. And there's a lot of practical effects in those movies, and they're kind of well written, especially Not Another Teen Movie. Like,
That's actually a genre that needs a comeback.
Oh no, that it died. It's not.
I know it died, but you know, like how things have their cycle. Its cycle it died 10 years ago, but it's definitely. Let's put it this way: if one came out and shook the radar, I don't know what it would take to do that because it's impossible to imagine that everyone would talk about it. And it's just the very fact that nobody makes it is why there's probably one in the next decade round the corner.
There'll be another one, but they won't do it like that. They'll do it like they did Super. You know, the guy from The Office, Dwight?
Yeah.
Or they'll do it like they did Kick-Ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like they're more likely to do that way.
It'll be like a spoof, but more serious, still violent, a lot of...
I mean, what would you spoof? What would you spoof?
What, superhero film I'd spoof?
No, not super. No. If see how that genre would spoof genres or sets of movies. If you made one, what would it be?
I'd do a spoof of like do a spoof of like John Wick style. Spoof that. Spoof that with having his ass kicked all the time, and then be in hospital and spend months in rehab, and then come out and try to do it again. But just montage every rehab thing, and then have him get better and stronger, and then try it again, and then just get his ass kicked constantly. Or spoof like those 50 Shades of Grey films.
I think that's been done already.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I'm just guessing. But like,
it's a good idea.
The scary movie ones, like the first Scary Movie obviously spoofed Scream, and they spoofed like there was little hints, like when he's about to kiss the girl and they're in bed, and then Dawson's Creek, like fucking the Dawson comes up and the
Yeah.
music's playing and he's like, oh sorry, wrong set. Like, you know, little things like that. Like, I just love that shit. And even in the second one, like they didn't just spoof House on Haunted Hill, not House on Haunted Hill, The Haunting. They spoofed like
The Ring.
Hollow Man and
The
a
Ring.
bunch of
The Ring.
sorry,
The Ring.
No, The Ring was the third one.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So, but they spoofed like Hollow Man, you know, when like they're stuck in the refrigerator and then she ends up jacking them off, and a bunch of other stuff like that. You know, the guy with the weird hand, my strong hand. Like,
Oh yeah.
don't,
My
they
hand's
just
not
don't make
strong
films
enough.
like that anymore. Mate, that film is hilarious. Like, I understand that people go, "Why are you watching this dumb shit?" I'm like, do you understand how funny this film is? Like, just own it. I'm back to the point now where I just don't care about the people get snobby with me with movies. They're like, oh, you shouldn't watch that. I'm like,
People
I'll
watch
it.
Big
Fine.
Brother for 10 years and lots of other reality shows. So now we can. When people came with the, I still watch wrestling. People, what do you watch that for? Why does anyone do anything? Why does anyone watch anything? It's to so I can. It's not about. It's not about whether the content is good or not. It's about whether what I get out of it, and I'm getting comedy out of this. It's funny and it's spectacular. These people are doing the jumping around, trying to beat the shit out of each other, or not trying to beat the shit out of
my
each other.
girlfriend is such a snob. She'll sit there and be like, "Oh, God, you're watching this," and then she finds herself laughing, and then I have to tell her, "Why are you laughing? I thought you didn't like this movie." She's like, well, that was funny. And I'm like, yeah, exactly.
Oh my God, you're that guy.
Just fucking enjoy it. What do you mean I'm that guy?
You mean you're the guy who's like, I'm not sure if I like this film, and you sit next to him, and then you watched the film with that guy, and then kept on going, see, you like that part. Why'd you say that?
Yeah, 100%. Well, the thing is, we're sitting in the living room, and Dick runs my household, so
Yeah.
I have control of the TV. So if I'm watching something, I'm just gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna watch that. And if you're in the room, then we're watching it. If you're not in the room, I'm still watching it. I don't care. So yeah, so she unfortunately was in the room and had to watch it. She didn't have to. She could have gone into another room. But she sat down and she started laughing. And I was like, see, I knew you liked this movie. There's no need to be a snob about it. You're going to enjoy it. It's a funny film.
Yeah.
So,
I ended up watching a lot of old films, man. Ended up watching Face Off, Armageddon, Stakeout, all that stuff on like Disney Plus and shit. And I kept on thinking, my God, I used to love these films. They are so moronic. I mean,
bro,
what
did I say the other day? I messaged you, Sash, right?
Yeah.
I literally randomly out of nowhere just messaged Sasha saying, Womack, I should have known, you piece of shit.
Womack, I should have known, you piece of shit. He has such a way of saying
Are you watching The Rock? And I was like, I am, because of course I'm watching The Rock. And as I was watching it, I had to write a status on Facebook. I'm like, say what you want about Michael Bay, but he makes some enjoyable fucking content. Like, because it is enjoyable content. And then Sash posted a picture up of Megan Fox bending over the motorcycle in that horrible sequel of a movie, but still.
If you had to post one image of that movie that was gold, it was that.
Yeah, correct. She does have a very fine derriere, if I do say so myself. But yeah,
you know, I saw that. What was it? That lion movie she was in.
Is that good or what? What's the deal?
It's so bad. It's hilarious. It's not good in any stretch or form, but you will be entertained. But as of how bad it is, it's one of those movies. And you know what? She's not that bad in it. She's actually not the worst cast person. The only thing wrong with her is that she doesn't look like someone that would be a captain of a squad. You know what I mean? Like she just looks like Megan Fox in cosplay. If she actually like did her hair or makeup to look like someone that's seen some action, then fair enough. But her actual performance in the role, the script didn't allow her to be wooden. The script didn't allow her to do much, to be honest. But the other actors got all the shitty dialogue, man. And it was hilarious. It was fucking. It's not a great movie. It's not a great movie, and the CGI is terrible.
I shall stay away then.
Yeah.
You know, I ended up watching what I call films like Mystery Alaska and The Edge with Anthony Hopkins, and I enjoyed them thoroughly because I had to think about, green screen graphics or whatever. It's simply guys walking through fucking woods. And that was entertaining to me.
Bro, you know what I find myself loving most about movies now? Dialogue.
Yeah.
So I think when Sash called me yesterday, I was watching Inglourious Bastards, but I was skipping through it. I actually wasn't watching the entire film. I was just watching the dialogue scenes.
Right.
So dialogue feed scene at the beginning with the farmer.
Oh, that's really good.
Like,
that hooks
I
you.
love that scene.
Yeah.
And then there's the other dialogue scene when they're in the bar, and the guy, the SS soldier, finally realizes that Michael, what's his name? Fassbender is actually British.
Yeah.
And it's that moment when he puts his fingers up and he's like, the shock in his eyes, and then he's like, then the slow realization, like, oh shit, I'm actually, like, what I suspected is actually true.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, he just flips to English. He goes, if we're gonna go out, I'd rather go out speaking to kings. Yeah. And I was like, what a G. And then fucking Stiglitz is like, say goodbye to your Nazi balls. Like that, and how that film like progresses and stuff. And I also really like the sound of German coming out of Diane Kruger's mouth. So there's also that.
Yeah. Well, she is German, so
yeah, exactly.
It's quite natural.
I love hearing her speak German. So it's like the Mandalorian. I liked hearing him speak French because, as he so puts it, it's like wiping your ass with silk.
Is the Merovingian in the Mandalorian?
No. But just remember when the Merovingian is like asking all these languages.
Right.
French is my favorite, right? And then he starts swearing in French, and he's like, "Stop wiping your ass with silk."
I love it.
So like the dialogue scenes that I do enjoy. I've started watching a lot more. Like my favorite one is probably the scene in Heat because I watched that the other day, and it's the scene where fucking they're talking to each other in the diner.
Oh yeah, it's a good scene
with Pacino and De Niro. If you don't remember it, you go back and watch that scene.
It's literally the next film that I have on my shelf to watch. So I'll be re-educating.
You have seen it before, right?
I saw it as a kid, but in parts.
Right.
And everything's like, yeah, I think that happened. I think that person's in it, and so now it's just like,
bro, make sure, just for the beginning of that movie, man. I'm gonna watch that film tomorrow.
Everyone's on fire in that movie. I mean, Val Kilmer, Tom Berenger, Natalie Portman.
Make sure your sound system is on max, like best settings for the fucking start of that film.
That is, in my opinion, Michael Mann's greatest film. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm sorry.
You haven't seen it.
Yeah,
you can't. If you haven't seen it.
Yeah. Sorry, it's hands down.
Then you can tell me in it,
yeah.
Hands
down.
Okay,
he is that good. It is that freaking good, man.
For me, my favorite Mann film is Collateral at the moment. But there's other films of his that I do like. I guiltily like Miami Vice.
Miami Vice, yeah.
I like Miami Vice, but Collateral, I enjoy Collateral, and it's a great movie. And Tom Cruise is fantastic in that role. I love his character.
That's why I like it, because he plays a good bad guy.
But the reason why I don't rate it so highly is because I just feel the film falls apart at the end.
No, it
And
doesn't.
well, for me it does, because here's the thing. They've built him up as this contract killer who's efficient at his job and this and that. Mm-hmm. And then he gets taken out by a taxi cab driver.
Yeah, because he wants to die. He doesn't want to do it. I've seen the film a number of times, and the conversation that he has, he doesn't want to do it, but he's good at it. But the moment he sees a way out, he's just, well, if I die, I die. And I do really think, just summing up the film, he didn't want to go on. He had nothing to live for. He didn't want to go on. And I really do think he just wanted to die, and but that's my interpretation of it. It could be different, and this is why I like it. It's because it's this guy he's got himself into this line of work that he's clearly good at, but he's lost his humanity, and he gets his humanity back when he dies. And anyway, go on, do it, come on.
I am the man that killed Jamie Lannister.